Just kind of roll our shoulders. Just start to wake up the body real quick. Not looking to increase our range of motion here. We're just trying to wake up our muscles, maybe a little side to side swing to wake up the hips, the shoulders, and arms. Maybe some head twists, looking off to the side, wake up our neck and head and shoulder muscles, up and down. Ear to shoulder, side to side. Get a little gentle stretch in there. You could do some waist circles. Just start to wake up the hips and the thighs and the upper legs and the ankles. Switch directions. Then maybe do some body tilts. Tilt off to one side, get a little stretch in the vertebrae. Off to the other side. Little arch in the neck and the back. I can feel that in my hips. You can bend forward, maybe bend down, stretch that lower back. Get a little stretch in my hamstrings. Okay, then we can raise our foot up, turn our ankle on our wrists. Switch sides and switch directions with the hands. Just shake that out. Okay, we can get into our regular stance. Feet grounded, head erect, back straight, shoulders opened up, tailbone pointing down, tongue resting on the roof of the mouth, arms loose. Start to breathe a little more deeply. Begin to clear our minds, come into the present moment. We can raise our arms up, start to awaken the back, the vertebrae, start to create some space in our backs. Allow the chi to be able to flow up and down our spines. Just gently turning, raising the trailing heel to get a little more rotation. Don't push it. Just enlivening the spine. You can envision the rotation. You can envision your spine opening up, creating some space between the vertebrae. Breathe energy into those areas. Glance over your shoulder, maybe get a little more range of motion. Lower our hands to hip level, envisioning standing in a body of warm water. Having our dantian, our lower abdomen, and our hips leading this motion. You can anchor the feet, move into flop. Just allowing the hands to enliven the lower abdomen and the lower back. Sending good, positive energy to these areas of our body, waking up our inner organs, liver, kidney, gallbladder, stomach, spleen, and all the muscles and the tendons and the ligaments. As we're focusing on spring here, a lot of the springtime wood element practices and movements help our tendons and ligaments, which I was watching some video of Mimi Kuo-Deemer, a Qigong guru, and she presented this wonderful vision of the tendons and ligaments as being like the ropes and lines in a ship, a sailing vessel that kind of hold the spars and the hull together. I thought that was a great vision. You can bring the leading hand up to the chest and enliven the chest and the lungs, heart center. Breathing deeply, breathing good, positive energy into those areas and organs. You bring the lead hand up to the neck and shoulders. Enliven those bones and tendons and ligaments and muscles and blood vessels. Back down to the chest. Lower abdomen. Unwind. Come back to center. Come back into our stance. And just take a couple of deep breaths and notice how your body feels. Just notice if there's any areas that are warm or tingly or kinky or sore, stiff. Just notice. Let's just move into our horse stance routine next. Let's do that before we get into tapping. Let's just take a wider stance, sink the weight a little bit, really engage the legs. Let's bring our hands up, palms facing down. Take a few deep breaths in each of these positions. Feeling the engagement and the energy in the legs. Imagining the chi coming up from the earth through the centers of your feet and up through your legs. We can put our palms up, facing up. Breathing deeply. Palms facing out. Raise our arms up above our head, the palms facing up to the sky, connecting with the energy, the sky and the universe above us. We can turn our palms facing down on our head and rain some of that good positive chi down through our crown, down through our bodies. We can lower our hands and arms, stand up, walk our feet in, just settle that chi we've been generating all throughout our bodies. And shake that out. Okay, you can wake the dantian. Around, wake the lower back. We'll move into some tapping. We can tap with our fingers on the jade pillow, the back of our neck. Just stimulating all those neck muscles, bringing good energy into our neck. Come around to our ears, underneath the ears, above the ears, front of the ears, down the jaw, corner of the mouth, lower lip, cheekbones, corners of the eyes, eyebrows, forehead, top of the head. Shake that out. We can tap behind our knees, and down. Behind our knees, front of our knees, 3 Mile point. We can slap down the insides of our legs, around the feet, up the outside 3 times. Enlivening the yin and yang sides of our legs. We can now work on the hips. Come up and work on an elbow. Inside of the elbow. Outside of the elbow. Bringing good energy, envisioning bringing good energy to each of these areas. using our mind to focus. Over and do the other elbow, inside. Outside. We'll come back and do the shoulder. All around. Breathing in good healing energy. Shoulder, the joint, the muscles, all that complex workings. Work on the other shoulder. Breathing deeply, envisioning that chi. Come back to the other side. We can come down our side, up, side, down the inside of the arm, and up the outside of the arm. We'll repeat that 3 times. Over and do that on the other side. Bring good chi and energy to the sides and the yin and yang sides of our arms. Wrap on the chest, enlivening the lungs and the heart center. Breathing deeply. Take a good breath in. Hold it. Beat a little stronger. And exhale. Shake that out. Now we can work on the inner and outer gates. Bring good healing energy to our immune system. And we're wrapping a point a couple inches below our wrists. Breathing deeply. Switch sides. Let's shake that out, come back to center. This next set of movements I borrowed heavily from Mimi Kuo-Deemer. And a lot of these elements, again, these are for the wood element, which is associated with springtime. And the deer is the animal associated with springtime. And the wood element is strongly associated with sinking down into the earth, kind of up and down, kind of focusing down into the earth. And you can envision a tree and a tree's roots sinking down into the earth. And in the springtime, being able to gather moisture and water and nutrients and bring that up into the stem of the tree and up into its branches, then reaching up, moving up vertically to reach up to support the growth of the branches and the leaves and the tree growing upwards. So a lot of these, or the next couple of exercises will remind us of that kind of orientation, that connecting the earth and connecting it up to the sky. And you can envision how a tree fits in that scenario. So this first one is just called lateral stretches. And what we're going to do is we're going to raise one arm up. We're going to raise it and point it right up. Kind of looks like it's pointing right up with the palm open, kind of vertically up. And we're going to take the other arm and just stretch that down, pointing down. And we're going to give the body a little bit of an arc off to that lower side. So get a real good stretch in your side here. Okay. And then we're just going to rotate the arms, kind of come back to a central position, and then repeat that on the other side. Kind of reaching straight up with, I'm using my left arm up, down, right arm down. I'm getting a good stretch on my left side. We're just going to repeat that a few times. Just breathing deeply. Imagine that lower arm representing the roots of a tree, the upper arm representing the crown growing up into the sky. Just getting down into that stretch and taking a breath. And rotating back. Giving a good side to side stretch. Do one more stretch on each side. Then coming back, lowering the arm, coming back to center. Shaking that out. And this next exercise is a combination of a couple of different horse stances. The one is called Embrace the Tree, and the other one is just a more open horse stance. So we're going to take a little bit of a wider stance like we do with our opening horse stance exercises. We're going to sink the weight a little bit. I'm just going to take a breath, take an inhale, and on the exhale, raise the arms up as if you're embracing a big tree. Again, that tree vision. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Then on exhale, we're going to open our arms out. Our palms facing forward here, a more open horse stance. And we'll take a breath here. Then come back to embrace the tree. Then back to the open stance. We'll just repeat this a couple more times. You can imagine the earth energy coming up through your roots. Last time. Bring the arms back to the center and lower our hands. Step back up. Let's clear that energy with a little closing motion here. We'll just take a deep breath in, raise the arms up and around. And exhale, coming down the center. It's just settling that chi we've just been working with. Sending it to where it needs to be. Good. Now we'll do some more wood element exercises. The next three we did last week, we'll repeat them, beginning with opening the bow to let the arrow fly. So we'll take a little bit of a wider stance and bring our hands up in front of our chest, arms and hands kind of bent in front of our chest. Pick a side, make a something to aim through and pull the string of the bow back with the eye gazing over your little L. Come back to the center and repeat off to the other side. And try to get into a little rhythm here. This is very engaged in the legs and very engaged in the eyes. Let's do one more on each side. And back to center. Walk that in. Shake that out. Next, we'll do punching with an angry gaze to increase strength. So a similar starting position, hands up and make fists. One fist forward, rotating. The other fist comes back as we twist our body a little bit. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, I like to dip a little bit as I extend my arm. Arm. Inhaling, coming in, and exhaling, extending.
That's the angry gesture of the PowerPoint. Do one more on each side. Come back to center. And now, I know you've all been practicing feverishly the deer frolics. So we're going to go back to do the male deer. We'll go real slow. And what we're going to do is just have the feet at a regular width apart. We're going to form hoofs. We're going to form hoofs with our hands. And just have those hanging down in front of our legs. I'm going to step forward with my left foot but still have 80% of my weight back on my right foot. As I step forward with my left foot, I'm going to bring my hoofs off to my right side. Then I'm going to form antlers from the hoofs while they're off to the right. I'm going to bring the antlers up and over my head and continue down. And as I continue down, I'm just going to lower the left arm. I'm going to keep the right arm up. I'm going to move my weight forward onto my left leg and make sure it's good and bent. Nice bend in that forward leg. I'm going to bring my elbow really down to my hip and corkscrew, kind of turn off to my left. And hopefully I can see the back of my right heel. So we're just going to hold that for a breath. And then we're going to come back out of it, rotating the body, raising that left antler, and then shift the weight back to most of the weight on the back leg. Keep rotating the arms over to the right side, reform our hoofs, and then step the leg back and swing the hoofs down to our starting position. And we're going to repeat that on the right side. Right foot forward, with again most of the weight on the back leg. Hoofs off to the left side this time. Form the antlers. Swing the antlers up and over the head. And then the right antler continues to swing as we shift our weight forward, bend that forward knee, make a 90-degree angle and put your elbow on your hip and look back, corkscrew the body, turn the body off to the right, look back and try to gaze at your left heel. Take a breath, raise the antler, the right antler up to the top. Shift the weight back a little bit. Continue rotating the antlers off to the left side. Reform the hoofs. Step the leg back and come back to our original position. Try and do that a few more times. Left foot forward. Antlers, hoofs off to the side. Form the antlers. Antlers above the head. Shift the weight forward. Left arm comes back. Corkscrew the body. Gaze back. Left arm back up. Shift the weight back. Antlers off to the side. Reform our hoofs. Step back to our original position. Right side. Step the leg forward. Hoofs up. Form our antlers. Shift the weight forward. Right arm down. Gaze back. Shift the antlers. Reform our hoofs. Come back to center. One more time. Leg forward. Hoofs off to the side. Form our antlers. Raise our antlers up. Weight forward and corkscrew around to gaze back. Come back up. Off to the side. Reform our hoofs. And step back. Last one. Good. Excellent. And now that's the hard one. Now we're gonna go and do the female deer, okay? The female deer is much more straightforward. It stretches some different muscles, stretches some of the ligaments and tendons, and particularly gets a good stretch in your hamstring. So the female deer, we're gonna start out the same way. We're gonna form some hoofs. We're gonna start out in the same position. Only this time we're gonna raise our hoofs up and we're gonna form just female deer antlers, just little nubbins, okay? And we're gonna place those kind of beside our head, okay? The female deer antlers. Then we're gonna step one leg forward, and just that leg is going to just be straight, and your back leg is gonna be bent. So we've got a straight leg here, forward, back leg is bent, and 90% of the weight is on the back leg. And we're gonna do a little, kind of a little shimmy as we move forward here. We're gonna kind of bend a little bit to our right, shifting the weight forward, and then bend back to our left. No, shimmy off to our left. Either way, we're gonna bend. Well, let's think about this. We are just going to shift off to our right, and we're going to place our right hand on our right hip. And we're going to lower our left antler and bend over at the waist, and try to touch your forward foot and try to keep that leg straight. So you get a big stretch in that hamstring there. So we're going to hold this breath here for a breath cycle, and then come back up and reform our female deer antlers, and then step the leg back. So we're going to try and repeat that on the right side. We'll put our right foot forward, kind of lean forward, bend at the waist. I'll put our left hand on our left hip and try to keep that forward leg straight and get a big stretch in that right leg and hamstring. And come back up, antler, reform your antlers, come back up and step back to a central position. We'll do that one more time on each side. Step forward, hand on the hip, lower the other hand, just stretch and touch the toe and bend at the waist. Get a good stretch in your lower back. Try to keep that front leg straight. Big stretch in your leg muscles. Come back up, reforming the antlers. And step back. Do the last one on the right hand side. Leg forward, hand on the hip, reach down with the right hand onto the right foot. Big stretch. Come back up, reform the antlers, step back in, and lower the arms. Okay. Good. Another new wood element movement. It's just known as the wood element Mudra. So this is more of a static pose. We probably deserve a static pose after those last two movements. So what we're going to do is bring one hand up to the dantian, and we're going to point. We're going to have that's an open palm. We're going to point that palm. This is my right hand. I'm going to have that resting a couple inches in front of the chest, chest level. Okay. I'm going to take the other palm and we're going to point it down. in front of the lower dantian. So the hands look like this. And again, we've got that wood element idea of down into the earth like roots and up to the sky like the crown of a tree. We're just going to hold this pose for a couple of breath cycles. Just breathing deeply, envisioning that springtime energy springing forth from the earth beneath us and enabling the tree to reawaken and blossom and bloom and grow. Then we're going to slowly rotate the arms, palms above one another, the hands above one another. We're going to switch positions and have the other hand pointing up and the other hand pointing down. And take a few deep breaths on this side. And we'll come back to that opening position of the hands above each other and then separate them. And we'll just settle the chi, just nice, slow lowering of the hands. And settling the chi that we've been working with on these deer frolics and other movements. And we'll finish this sequence with what Mimi calls the closing form of peaceful chi. And we just start in our ready position here. We're just going to take a deep breath in as we raise our hands out and around and above our head. And just a nice, slow, clean exhalation, bringing the palms, the hands down slowly down the center line, smoothing out and evening the chi throughout our body and our systems, settling that good energy that we've been working with this morning. Good. I think we have a little time left here. We've got plenty of time. Let's move into cloud hands. Just take slightly wider than hip width stance. I'm just going to swing one arm up, shift the weight over. Follow that hand across with your eyes, just as if you're moving nice, white, fluffy clouds from side to side. Let's do this on our own. Try to get into the zone, into a motion and a speed that works for you. And again, also the range of motion that works for you. This can be a small motion or a large motion. Just calming the mind, breathing deeply. Just trying to relax our face, our head, chest. Just do one more motion on each side. Come back to center. Good. Now we'll do parting the horse's mane. And we'll begin by bringing our hands up, palms facing each other in front of us, and shifting off to one side, placing one palm above the other, as if you're holding a ball here. And we're going to just bring the upper hand up at an angle, at a diagonal, as if we're kind of smoothing a horse's mane along its sloped neck. Come over and reverse to the other side. Shift back, parting the horse's mane off to the other side. Just again, a lateral movement side to side. Try to get into a rhythm, get into the zone. Breathing deeply. Being grateful for our bodies. Being kind in spirit. Having a smile in our mind. Do one more on each side. Back to center. Shake that out. Let's do a couple of more flowing exercises. We'll go right into embrace the tiger, return to the mountain. That one we begin with the legs in a hip width position. I'm just going to sweep our hands out, backs of the hands together up the center line, pushing forward, exhaling, sweeping out and around, forming a good protective sphere, and repeating that. So out, up the center line, exhale forward, out and around. So exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, bringing in good energy from all around us. Exhale. Exhaling any stuck energy or any energy we no longer need. Bringing in good positive chi. Imagining all the things that we're grateful for, our bodies, our minds, our family, our friends, our community. Nature all around us. One last one of these. Come back to center. And we'll do one more. The earth flow just adds one more movement to this. So the same starting movements. Exhale, inhale, exhale. We'll circle out, around, kind of spiral right behind us, and then reach down to the earth. Down to the earth and gather some earth chi and make a ball, a chi ball. Raise that ball of energy up above our heads and pass that ball of golden light down through the crown of our head, through our bodies and out through our feet. Raise the hands up, raise the hands, and lower the hands down. And repeat, palms up. Exhaling out, arms out around and down to the earth, gathering up some earth energy, forming a ball. Raising that ball up, lowering it down. Raise the hands up, lower the hands. One more time, hands out. Exhale. Nice. Down.
Yes. So we'll see that coming up here in a minute or two.
Raise the hands up, lower the hands down. Okay. We'll finish, we'll just bring our feet together. Place the hands over the dantian, standing in bamboo in the wind. Just allow the body to rock and sway. Being thankful for the earth and all of its energy, what it brings us, the universe around us. Remember to breathe more deeply throughout our week. Settle the mind, be in the present.